Which legendary Reddit post, comment can you still not get over? There was a post on r of a gorilla using sign language to tell people not to feed it or something to that effect. To this day, I still laugh when I think about a comment that said, "It's a shame there's so many deaf gorillas." How useful and sadly how often I share this advice on insurance after a fire. I know other people have it saved as I'm not the only one who goes back to repost it, but it's invaluable in the aftermath of an emergency. It's not applicable to just fires. I shared this with friends who were brushed by a tornado that went through earlier this year. Whoever wrote that did many people one hell of a service. There was also a Redditor who thought his landlord was sneaking into the op's place while he was gone, posting post-its all over the house. Another Redditor suggested it was CO poisoning, and sure enough it was a whole thing. Mind-boggling. There was another post similar to this one. A Redditor, female, was dating a physician, male, and she thought, and I'm not entirely sure about this detail, that her BF, the physician, was sexually assaulting her or something, but it did end up being something about CO poisoning. Her boyfriend was medicating her to cause her to forget things, but it was bed bugs. But then moderators received a message from a verified physician stating bed bugs cannot cause what the op complained of. Link. Believe I saw it on Reddit. A IT tech-related post. Guy starts a new job as a system admin. No other IT at the place. Previous admin had been there for just about fucking forever and left behind some documentation, but not enough to make the job easy. The guy finds a note from the previous tech with a few miscellaneous tips, and then says if there is a critical emergency and everything else has failed, there is a box in the server room behind the switch, open only as a last resort. Guy is there for a few years. Metaphorical fires get fixed. He learns the tricks of the place. But one day the server does boot, tries everything, can't get it to work, all the files are there, the company can't function, actual fires are about to start. Guy freaks out and remembers the emergency box and figures now should be an emergency and figures maybe the guy left access info to off-site backups or tape drives or some sort of disaster recovery and goes into the server room. Behind the switch is a box. Pulls it out and opens it to find a bottle of tequila. I can't find the post, but it was a man whose son was born evil. They knew it right away. Born in the 70s, I believe. When he, the son, was older, he tried to kill his baby sister, or something. And the mom started to beat him up. The dad left the room and waited until she stopped. She came out 20 minutes later and he said, "Is he dead?" She said, "My God, I hope so." They locked themselves downstairs for 2 weeks, listening to him move around a little bit here and there. After 2 weeks he left and they never saw him again. Edit, found it. I forget the whole thing, but something along the lines of a guy had to go to a dinner with his wife's parents, ate some edibles not realizing how strong they were, and he was sweating like a pig claiming how spicy the food was. Then his wife was like, "We've only had the appetizer, bread and water." I have no idea how to get the link, but it had me in tears the first time. Trust me, it's way funnier than I make it to be. So a while back there was a post, I think on r Instant People, a Facebook, of a woman looking for a bus to hold 60 people for a church function and was so fucking hostile and rude about it. In one post she says, "Next to," and for months on Reddit people were always saying next to everything, but it seemed nobody besides me remembers this and I can't find the post. Edit. Okay, so apparently I'm not the only one who remembers this. Wish it would make a comeback. Talking about worst moment in life, a mother described the silence she was met with when she came home and saw the shoes of her husband and child, and was anticipating hearing their laughter, playing, but found them dead in a murder-suicide. Three bros who were speeding to meet an ambulance after a comrade was injured. A woman blocked them in and the friend inevitably died. Kevin, the world's dumbest student. I miss Kevin's antics and wish I saved that comment. There was one that I have never been able to find again. but some guy insulted somebody and he replied with something like "says the virgin with a 3-inch penis" and provided links from the other guy's post history that proved both those assertions. It was an absolute burial. You love to see it. One time someone had gone digging through my comment history on another account and said, "You post an R anime, so you're clearly just a fat neckbeard who will die alone." I looked at his post history and his literal last post was on relationship advice saying, "I am a fat neckbeard who will probably die alone." I guess people really do project their insecurities onto others. There was a guy on Ada that had a son with his ex-wife and he moved away and started a new family. This man was a mechanic his whole life and with his first son had promised him when he was like 4-6 that he'd get the sweet car they'd worked on. Instead he gives it to his 16-year-old son from the second marriage and his first son was furious. Like never speaking to you again furious. Dad was dumbfounded. Then the son sent him a video where dad promised him the car at his birthday party. Turns out his first son went to school to be a mechanic like his dad. This mf'er had never even once asked what his son was doing with his life. I've never been so sad reading a story on Reddit. The guy on R. Wall Street Butts who got blocked by the Fed on Twitter because he kept tweeting "printer goes BRRRRR" at them every day. Kind of a niche joke, but just thinking about the effort it takes for a government entity to block you individually on Twitter is hilarious to me. Honestly, I think about it every time I'm having a bad day. https://www.reddit.com/r/wallstreetbutts/comment//shade7jgr8/@_guess_source equals share and @medium equals iOS_app and @name equals awesome. The one where Ellen Pao was let go as CEO, and everyone was celebrating because she had banned R. Fat people hate, but then one of the other admins posted saying that Pao was one of the only people in corporate that didn't want to ban FPH, and that things were going to get worse from here on out. That wasn't the tipping point. The whole mess boiled over a month later after Victoria Taylor lost her job. Pao basically set herself up as the fall guy and scapegoated herself, and people didn't realize until after she'd gone. Silver 2 There was a post about how a guy closed an elevator door on a dad and son who were trying to make it. The guy thought he was pressing the open button, so he smiled at them the entire time it closed on them. Edit. My god. Rip my inbox. Reddit. Cringe. I closed the elevator door on a toddler and his dad frowned. https://cringe/comment/51261/I_closed_the_I_a_toddler_and_his/. Here's the og post I believe. So way back when, 2008 to 2009. Some Redditor got very excited over his 2 a.m. chili and posted an extensive tutorial, in full fuck yeah bell peppers style. Naturally, this became a meme. Concurrently, another Redditor posted nothing less than the life hack of the century: freeze a block of water, squirt shower gel on top, freeze that, and now you have ice soap. Trademark. This was a fine enough goof, but the ops' insistence that this was much more efficient than putting shower gel on one's body made it become a meme. So what happens when two memes are popular at the same time? Exactly. Someone froze a block of chili and rubbed their body with it and achieved the coveted #1 spot. This site is weird like that. Sorry, no links as I'm on mobile. Many thanks to whomever is willing to dig them up. The dude who had a girlfriend that struggled to quit smoking, so he decided to take up smoking for a month just so he could show her how easy it is to quit if you are totally dedicated to quitting. He still smokes 10 years later, She quit a long time ago. Edit.
https://www.reddit.com/r/@mt42f/question mark@_score_the_score_thing_score_ft_42f/question mark@_score_iovs_score_done_score_just_score_to/f_bt42f/question mark@_score_name=awesome.
Use /fuck_shells rant on grilled cheese about what exactly a grilled cheese sandwich is and how the sub has gone straight to hell with all the pictures of what are technically melts. I think about it whenever I make a sandwich, which is frequently. https://www.reddit.com/r/grilled cheese/comments/2-1p3/you_make_me_6/question mark@_medium=android_app and@source=share. Edit. Melts is where you should go if your taste buds are too undignified to appreciate the simple beauty of cheese, butter, and bread. Because sometimes you just wanna add some tomato, damn it. Edit 2. I don't feel like digging through the man's profile, but when I first read the linked post, I went through and looked at his comments on r grilled cheese, and the best one was on a picture of a dessert grilled cheese that featured mascarpone and berries. I think it's been a while. That simply said there is no God. Guy gets a girl pregnant. She wants to abort but he doesn't. Convinces her not to, but they agree that as soon as the kid is born she waives all parental rights, and even pays 125% of her child support payments. A year and a half goes by and Guy is salty that he's an exhausted single dad while his ex is living her best life. Wants to sue her for being a deadbeat parent despite him getting exactly what he asked for. Original post. Edit. Since comments keep speculating, he stated in one reply that he hoped she would bond with the kid while pregnant and change her mind about being a mother. The guy asking for relationship advice because his socks keep disappearing until he finds out his GF is cleaning her shit with it. Shit hits the fan. Op talks to her sister only to find out sister knows and is now mad at Op for being weirded out by it all. I think they are done, which is sad. Op was thinking about marrying the poop sack chick. Edit. Found the poop sack post. I was thinking way too complicated with my keywords. What's a piece of Reddit history everyone should know? This one's pretty old, 3 octoseconds, so some of the links may be dead. The ones that are still active though are great. Edit. Many more like this can be found on r thread killers, which is where I found this one. Additionally, someone below linked a more up-to-date list posted by someone else to a similar AskReddit thread about a year ago. So if you've made it through mine and are still craving more, be sure to give that one a read, although there are some duplicates between the lists. I remember one where some guy did some rendering of animation or something for Eric Disney and they paid him a bunch of money to basically do nothing but run some program on his computer. He then for Reddit karma turned a not yet released bit of animation into a meme and Disney found out about it and fired him, so he ended up having to deliver mail. If anyone remembers that one and can find a link, please do. He did the closed captioning for a shitload of stuff. For him it was a dream job. He got paid to watch TV in his PJs all day. He posted a single frame of an unreleased episode and somehow the mouse found it, and was able to trace it back to him. He owned up and hoped for the best, and they blacklisted him. Since the mouse and its properties accounted for such a huge amount of his potential clientele, he was effectively forced out of the industry. I think he said that he didn't mind the mailman job because it got him out of the house. But goddamn, if ever there was a story about killing the goose that laid the golden eggs. There was this post in r confessions from a guy who hates his son and will never be proud of him no matter what, even though said son has finally gotten off drugs and the streets, and turns out for good reason. It always stuck with me, not sure why, maybe the man's pure anguish and rage. But more so I've always had a positive outlook on things and am drawn to feel-good stories of recovery, forgiveness, reunion, etc. Pretty much the return of the prodigal son. But I never really thought about how those stories gloss over the pain and resentment of victims who are unable to forgive unforgivable actions but are inadvertently made to feel guilty and ashamed for feeling that way. We just kind of expect them to just automatically be the bigger person, eventually come to forgive, move on. If not now then with the passage of the years etc. I had never thought of that before that post, and maybe the uncomfortable reminder that sometimes people are just rotten from their core. But I never really thought about how those stories gloss over the pain and resentment of victims who are unable to forgive unforgivable actions but are inadvertently made to feel guilty and ashamed for feeling that way. Somewhat related, I read a post on here about a woman whose husband came out of the closet. He had been sleeping with men on the sly in the years prior. Her entire social circle celebrated his acceptance of his sexuality, skipping over the cheating and the wife and children he left behind. Her resenting him for leaving was met with accusations of homophobia. I think it's perfectly okay to be angry if your husband leaves, even for a reason that's good in the abstract, and the guy could definitely have been less of a jerk about it, in that specific case. I dated a girl who had never heard the word alley before. Not alley cat, not bowling alley, and had never seen a house whose driveway was in the back instead of the front. I drove her past my childhood home, and she said, "Wow, I can't believe nobody on your street is home on a Sunday afternoon," because there were no cars parked at the curbs. I said they probably went in through the alley, and she laughed at me and said the what? She laughed at the sound of the word alley, and teased me about throwing French words into conversation to try and sound fancy. She was baffled at the idea of a tiny street just for getting into the backyards, and just wouldn't believe that everyone on the street would unanimously agree to design their home with the garage in the back. I was certain she was pulling a no, what is potato? But, no. She was just very very sheltered, and very very ignorant, and very very confident that I was trying to tease or make fun of her. She never stopped doubling down. Eventually it got really sad. I can't remember where this was posted, but this woman had downloaded a sleep app that used audio recording in her sleep. When she woke up and reviewed the recording, you can hear her talking in her sleep and she asks a question like, "What are you doing?" And all you hear is a bunch of muffled noise and a response which was like, "Go back to sleep" or something like that. App was trying to help figure out if it was a home invasion or something else. The entire recording is very creepy as is the situation involved. I wish I could remember where it was, but I think about it all the time and now I don't want to record my sleep. The guy who was on his computer, wearing headphones, he thought he heard something so he took his headphones off, heard screaming and discovered his wife was being raped in the next room over. Toddler daughter was present and being told she was next by the rapist. 2 words. Tom Cruise. It was an AskReddit that asked, what celebrity do you think is secretly gay? First thing that popped into my head was Tom Cruise, so I clicked to add my obviously superior answer to the poster and my jaw just dropped. Every single answer was Tom Cruise. Every single answer. I lost my shit at that one. I just kept scrolling to the point that the words Tom and Cruise stopped making sense. It was a glorious day. I was there when Kevin first entered our lives, also the guy that lost the use of his arms for a while so his mom helped him ... quite a few times until his arms healed. The Jolly Rancher, the worst smell ever encountered by a doctor ... from a woman with maggots in her pussy. The time Reddit sleuths thought they identified the Boston bomber ... and he was murdered. Turned out later they had the wrong guy. The guy who posted that he thought his wife was cheating on him ... and Reddit advised him to confront her. He did and she murdered their 2 children and stabbed herself. This one is in the news too. It's turtles all the way down. Not me, but an old friend of mine, really quiet, soft-spoken, polite guy, a total gentleman and a graduate student in the liberal arts. Also, pretty inexperienced, tentative, and vanilla sexually. He's dating this really cool girl for maybe 2 months. She is much kinkier in bed. She floats the idea of dirty talk, and apparently likes to be objectified, even demeaned a bit, from time to time. He's hesitant, but wants to please her and doesn't dismiss the idea outright, changes the subject and figures that they'll revisit the idea another time. Anyway, they have sex a few days later for the first time since the conversation, really going at it dogga style, and she tells him to talk dirty to her. He says that he can't think of anything to say, so he says nothing, and she then repeats the request, but the second time she is not fucking requesting, but demanding it. He comes up with, yeah, you like that, you fucking retard. He's never struck me as one for embellishment, so I believe him. He said that was it for sex that night, although they are still together 2 years on now. Courtesy of original post from /u/blackbeard82 in the thread. What is the worst thing someone has said to you during sex?